What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got something very, very, very exciting happening. You see, it turns out that Memorial Collection, you know the one I told you about the other day, the really exciting sounding one? Well, it turns out there's only actually 3 leaders in this set. I told you that the other day, that's not news. What is news? Yeah, we actually know all of them. For some reason, it's quite early in the reveal cycle, but over in Japan, the official Twitter account decided, you know what would be a good idea? Revealing all of the leaders. All 3 of the leaders for EB-01 are out, and you know what? I am totally okay with this. And I want to start with one that's making me pretty gosh darn happy. It's Kiros. Now, of course, we've seen this character before. Leader, nah mate, no chance. And we are talking black and yellow here, which means you have access to all those lovely Dressrosa cards, like, if I'm honest with you, the aforementioned Kiros. Now, I have done these translations myself, as I always do, but I have checked with a lovely Orange Samurai D, who has checked with Ray and Dan Ugor. So, I was right, and I'm delighted about this. So what we've got is a dual colour leader, 5,000 power, 4 life, exactly what we would expect, incidentally, from a dual colour leader. And we've got a very nice skill here, and that is activate main once per turn. You may turn the top card of your life face up, KO up to one of your opponent's 0-cost characters. But of course, the whole point here is that you're playing a black deck, so you're going to be playing all of those things that lower the cost of characters. So yes, it's a 0-cost character, but it's not really a 0-cost character. It's a character you've brought down to 0. Now, a couple important things to note. Turning your life face up in order to do this is, in a way, actually really good, because it means that you know what your next life is going to be. It gives you that information, which is lovely. The downside is you need to lose a life before you can use this skill again. Basically, the way it's written is you have to turn one of your top card of your life face up, and that is basically a requirement of doing the skill. It's in bold, it's before the colon, you do that, then you activate the skill. Obviously, if the top card of your life is already face up, then clearly you don't get to turn the top card of your life face up. That would be, frankly, very, very weird. Of course, it is worth pointing out, as always, that, it's a dual colour leader, so we need to look at whatever other dual colour leaders could be competing with it. We got Charlotte Linlin. And you know what? Yeah, I like this quite a bit more than I like Charlotte Linlin. But maybe that's just me. Although, of course, in Starter Deck 13, which isn't out yet, we are going to get the Luffy as well. Something to bear in mind. So I like Kiros quite a lot. This looks awesome. One I like maybe as much, I know a lot of people are getting hyped about this, Kazuki Odin. I like Kazuki Odin. You see, what we've got from Kazuki Odin here is a dual colour leader, red and green, 5,000 power for life, as we would expect. And we got a couple of lovely skills. Firstly, and this is the big one for me, according to the rules, your character cards with the type Wano Country without a counter have plus 1,000 counter. It gives a counter to all your Wano Country cards that don't have a counter. This is absurd. Absolutely absurd here, because there are some and this is what the card designers do, right? They look at some cards and they go, oh, those cards are a little bit good. You know what? I'm gonna take away the counter for that, so at least they're not too busted. Something like the Kinemon, for instance. On play, if your leader is Kazuki Odin, which it is, play up to one of the Azakaya 9 cards with a cost of 3 or less from your hand, and on X1, when attacking once per turn, set up to one of your Azakaya 9 character cards with a cost of 3 or less active. It's a good card. 6 cost, 6,000 power, no counter. Essentially, sometimes in order to essentially lower the power level of a card, the card designers will make sure it doesn't have a counter. Well, this is a counter to not having a counter. It means if you play Wano Country, of course, it means every single one of your characters will have a counter, I think this is absolutely absurd. I think this is ridiculous. Yeah. This is very, very nice. Plus, there is another skill here as well. Don X1, when attacking, if you have a 5 cost or greater Wano Country character in play, this leader gets 1,000 power until the start of your next turn. That is to say, it turns into a 6,000 power leader, which is, of course, very, very nice. Honestly, I like bumping up to a 6k leader. Bumping up to a 6k leader is good. It's always good, obviously. But the idea that all of your characters have counter, that's just lovely. But they are not the only 2 leaders in the Memorial Collection. We've also got the debut of Hanab, and I'm probably pronouncing that terribly, and I apologize. Yeah, that's about right, honestly. That'll do. The point is, it's the other dude from Impel Down. Now, we got a dual color blue and purple, and just as a side note, not a big fan of dual color blue and purple, because, well, I'm colorblind. And the combination of blue and purple, it's just a bit sad for me. So yeah, there's that. Have obviously seen this a couple of times before. We've had, for instance, the Kaido in OP-01 and the Crocodile in OP-01. They are both there, so don't worry. It's not a unique color combination, all right? We've seen this one before, and we've actually seen it even more recently than that. We saw it on Vinsmoke Reiju in OP-05, so this is a color combination we've had a few times at this stage. What have we got from this new Impel Down leader, though? Well, being a dual color leader, we have got 5,000 power and 4 life, which is entirely standard. And at the end of your turn, you may return one of your cost 2 or greater Impel Down characters to your hand and set up to one of your Don cards from your Don deck active. You get an extra Don, and you get it active, so it's available to use during your opponent's turn for playing event cards and things of that nature. And bearing in mind you're part purple here, and one of the things that purple loves to do so much is put Don back into their deck. So here, yeah, you're going to be losing your Don a bit, boo hiss, etc., but you're going to be getting your Don back at the end of your turn, as long as you're able to keep getting these characters back to your hand, because that is very important. These characters need to go back to your hand. If they don't go back to your hand, that's a bit of a problem. Well, it just means you can't use the skill. And it's got to be a 2 cost or greater. It can't be a 1 cost card, which is fine, I suppose. But you know what? There are a bunch of decent Impel Down characters in blue and purple, and in fact, so far, and I'm looking on onepiece-cardgame.dev, all the Impel Down are actually blue and purple so far, so that basically gives you, it's a perfect color leader for Impel Down. It basically means you have access to everything, which is honestly rather lovely. This is another one that could end up being pretty gosh darn good. It's one I've got my eye on, frankly. This one could be pretty gosh darn nice. And there are a bunch here. I think all of these leaders have a bit of a niche. I think EB-01, and like I say, we're not only expecting 3 leaders from it. That's ridiculous. We are only getting 3 leaders. And we know that for a fact because it literally says on the Japanese site that there are only 3 types of leaders. This is it. This is all of them. I kind of like them. I want to like Kiros the most, but I think Kazuki Odin might be a bit better. But there is actually one super rare that's gone and been revealed from the set as well. We've also got Viola, and this is nice. Now, we got 2 cost, 0 power counter plus 1,000. The 0 power doesn't really bother me. You've got blocker, and sure, a 0 cost blocker means you block and you get turned away, and that's fine. That's to be expected, frankly, alright? It's a blocker, it's not a good blocker, you repel an attack. And you ain't going to survive repelling the attack, that's fine. You repel an attack, that's good. But also here, on play, you get to choose one of the following. Look at all of your opponent's life and return them in any order, or turn all of your life cards face down. Yeah, so remember how I said with Kiros you had to turn the card face up in order to use a skill, and if the top card of your life was face up, you couldn't KO the character? Well, clearly Viola's here to help. This is the kind of thing you're doing with this, right? That's the kind of combo we're looking for. It is making sure that you can get those life face down again, so you can turn them face up to use a skill like Kiros. But also, rearrange all of your opponent's life. There might be a card that they really want to draw into. And they're going to draw into it when you take a life because life goes to the hand. Well, stop them drawing into it. They might have a really good trigger, which is going to be a massive help for them. Make it their last life. You can rearrange their life in a way that helps you and hurts them. So, I mean, look, if you can use a really specific combo like you do with Kiros here, yay! But even if you can't, you've got a 2-cost blocker who can rearrange your opponent's life and make it awkward for them. This is a phenomenal card. Frankly, these are things worth getting a little bit excited about. That's what I think. I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think about these first cards from EB-01. I want to know anything you want to tell me, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.